Alright, this is the 2010 through 2015 Toyota Prius, the regular Prius, the identical on the V's. I'm going to show you how to do the water pump replacement right now. So you're going to start by first draining the coolant. I've got the car up in the air. You can see underneath, right up in there, there's a spigot. You can reach your hand up this hole and loosen this up, and the coolant will drain right out of there. It'll drain a lot faster if you remove this cap. All right, next we're going to pop this cover off here. Just lifts up like that. Move that off to the side. Then we're going to take this air box off and the rest of this intake in here. So we'll start with this worm clamp. It's a 10 millimeter. And right here is a connector for the mass airflow sensor. We're going to go ahead and unplug it. All right, next we're going to pop the air cleaner off. Take that, and your air filter. Then to get this off, there's 3 10 millimeter bolts there, and there. Let's take those off. Okay. Now move over here. There's a 10 mil there and there. Let's take those off. And those look like they're all the same length. And then in order to slide this out, I'm disconnect this hose right here. And this will kind of come up and out of the road. Now that we have that all removed, you can see the water pump is right here. So there's a total of 5 bolts that hold it on, but first we'll just start by undoing this connector right here. Press down on that, and that releases that. Now there's 2 12 millimeter bolts on this side, 2 on this side, and then 1 kind of on the bottom in the center. And you should be able to access all of them from here. All right, after I broke those free, I ended up, just to get a little more room, I switched to a 1/4 inch ratchet and socket. It's just a little bit shorter. This is just to try to show the position where that last bottom bolt is. See, it's about in the center. You can see my sockets on it down there right now. And I just used a deep well 12 millimeter to get all these loosened up. So I'm gonna break this one free, but it is a little bit tricky to get your hand down. I kind of put a hand down like this and then fed this down in there to get it on, but it's not bad. All right, now that those are all out, the water pump will lift straight out. Okay, and just a few quick things to look for. You should try to get your replacement pump, make sure it's a genuine Toyota or an aisin. There's a lot of copies out there that'll say they're genuine, but they're not. A dead giveaway on some of those. You'll see the factory ones. Like this plastic side here is like this grayish color. A lot of times the knockoffs will be black, and the packaging will be real thin, but that's the biggest giveaway. See, this one's identical. It's a genuine aisin Toyota. So this water pump is getting changed because this 2015 Prius had a P261B code, which is for a water pump not performing. So the water pump's not working quite as good as it should. So we give this one a spin. It spins freely for a second and then it hits some resistance. Free, some hard resistance right there. Free, some hard resistance. So this pump was on its way out. Eventually they'll get to the point where it's just resistance the whole way. And the new one here, you know, it just spins and spins and spins freely. So, but that's one thing to watch for. Make sure you get a genuine Toyota aisin water pump to replace it with. Before we put this new one on, we're going to go ahead and clean up the surface here. It's not bad looking, but there are a few spots we should clean up. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, again, here's the new replacement pump. Make sure you put your gasket in and go ahead and lower this back down in. And it pops right into place. So I'm going to go ahead and get a few of those bolts started, and then we'll go over the torque specs. And then a quick reminder on the bolts. So the 2 out of the 5 bolts, there's 2 of them that are longer. And those 2 go on this side, closest to the firewall. The other 3 short ones that are the same length are the one on the bottom middle, and then the 2 closest to the front bumper. Here's the torque specs. So the 3 short bolts, you can pause this if you need to save it. The 3 short bolts are going to be 15 foot-pounds or 180 inch-pounds, and the 2 long bolts are going to be 19 foot-pounds or 228 inch-pounds. All right, water pump's in. Don't forget, plug in your connector. And now we'll start putting the intake back on, and then we'll finish with topping off the coolant.